Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
With almost 500,000 customers and over $1 trillion of secure payments, Bill isn't new to intelligent finance. It's the proven way to simplify bill pay and maximize cash flow. Want to learn more? Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
Hello and welcome back to the Psycho Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back with our Sister Wives Rewind. We are going back to where we left off, which is season 9, episode 7, More Girls Than Kody Can Handle. But before we dive into recapping the episode, we want to talk about the season 20 trailer that just dropped.
Yes,
and,
very,
it's very
surprising.
exciting.
It was very surprising to me. I was not prepared for that.
No, we thought it was just going to be Kody Special Forces.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be a lot of Kody.
It feels like we just ended that last season. We were looking forward to taking a break from Kody, but
yeah,
he's back twice a week now, I guess, starting the end of September.
Like one of his sister wives in the rotation twice a week.
Yeah.
Yes,
we get 2 nights a week.
Yeah. Yes. Just like Janelle. All right. Well, so we're just going to talk about some of the highlights of the trailer. So should we just go from the top?
Sure.
Okay. So the first thing that we see is Mary. Mary is dating, and she's actually speed dating. And we see her with this guy who asks her, "What's your love language?" And she says physical touch. And he gets he has this look on his face. Like, I don't quite know. He's kind of cute.
Yeah. He's an attractive man.
Yeah. Again, I don't think physical touch is what you're thinking it's going to be. She just wants someone to hold her hand. Do you know what I mean? I don't think do you know what I mean? I think she's going to make him wait.
Yeah, she's gonna want to move slowly.
Yeah,
I guess this is after she had that whirlwind romance with that guy Amos. I mean,
yeah. Well, I feel like the Amos stuff happened during the last season, during that time, and it just was never talked about. That's what everyone was so pissed about. And maybe Mary was like, no, or maybe Amos never signed a release. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because I think maybe he was a little bit of a con artist. So allegedly, I don't know what people have said, but Mary is putting herself out there. She's got Jen cheering her on. So that's good. I don't know. Mary's got to get more substance to her than this kind of wacky Mary and Jen show is kind of getting old.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Mary's just, she thinks she's so funny. She and Jen both think they think they're Lucy and Ethel. They really do. And they're not. And
yeah. What happened to their salty birches or what was that? Was that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Supposed to be something or is that just them like,
I don't know. What's going on with Worthy Up? What's happening with that?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a lot of starting things.
I think Worthy Up was a big failure.
Yes.
Putting it mildly.
Okay. So then we then see the scene of Christine and David having dinner, and then they have to talk about Kody, and then we see this scene of Kody and David racing each other.
Yeah, nobody wants this. Nobody wants David and Kody to be bros.
Yeah. And I don't want to see Kody showboating and acting, being Kody, doing this thing with David, and David's kind of uncomfortable. It's like, this is not entertaining. We do not need to see these two men together. We don't.
I mean, if it were sincere, I mean, look, Cody's daughter lives full time with David. Like, if I were Kody, I would want to get to know him. This man is in your child's life every day, and an important part of her life. And so Kody should be wanting to get to know David. But then you have Christine saying she never wants to see Kody again. And then, I find it hard to believe that Cody's intentions here are really to get to know David. I don't know what.
I don't think that's his intention at all.
I'm so confused about this.
This is the producers needing content. It really, really is. And I think they went to both of them and said, hey, will you do this? Will you do the scene? And I think both of them were like, it's Cody's job. So Cody needs to do money. It. He needs money. He's got that big mortgage now. So, and maybe David was just like, okay, I don't know. I just, no one wants it. No one's here for it.
No.
And then we check in with Janelle. And Janelle says she just needs to get out. And I don't know what out means. Out where?
Out where? Yeah. Well, then the next scene is her whooping it up in New Orleans, I guess, with some ladies.
Yeah, throwing beads out.
I mean, are these the Plexus people? And who's the woman who was sitting on the couch with her talking about how,
the Asian woman?
No. She had blonde hair.
Oh, then I'm thinking of someone else. Because I thought it was an Asian woman who was sitting next to Mary, to Janelle, and said, would you ever consider getting back? Like going back to Kody?
Oh, that might have been a different scene. But
okay.
I don't know. There was a scene where she's sitting on the couch with this blonde woman, and she's talking about how, we need to make the new Janelle, like she's going to get a makeover or something.
Yes.
Or something. Which, she could use a little bit of a makeover. Janelle is really a pretty woman.
Yeah.
She really is. And she, not like you have to like do all that or whatever. I don't know. I think Janelle is probably, again, this seems like something for content. Nothing's happening with the Tata Farms thing yet. And, you see Maddie there. She has a new baby, and Janelle's there. They need content. It's not interesting to watch her and Maddie take care of children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. Well, and then that leads into this scene with Janelle and Mary, and Janelle confides in Mary about how she's thinking about doing the spiritual release, and she feels ready. Yeah. She feels ready to do that. And then we get the shadiest moment of the entire trailer, because we're going to check in with Kody and Robin. But before we're going to check in with them, we're going to show you some of their art. So was that a painting or was that a photograph? Okay.
No, that was a painting of the photograph.
Okay.
So a photograph exists, which we've seen before in their house, of the two of them, like practically dry humping on the hood of the white Lexus.
Yes.
Like all hugged up. Yes. And I believe this was before they were married. And that's why, remember, Christine was saying, I wonder how close they really were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was like an engagement photo or something. But anyway, so they commissioned someone to do a painting, like an oil painting of that photo. And it's pretty big.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they zoom in on that to make sure we see that that's the background. But also, Kody and Robin are in on this too. Like, they know that painting is there. I don't know if this is where they've chosen to have this conversation.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's kind of like they're flaunting it. Like, we can live openly now in our our
we
love.
do not have to suppress our love. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, Kody claims that he got another email from one of these women, one of the many women who are inquiring about joining their family.
And I believe you probably get lots of emails from lots of different women saying they want to join the family, Kody. Yes, I believe that.
But they're probably crazy.
Yes. It's like, yes. Guess what? I get weird men on the internet going, hey, what's up with you?
Yeah, it happens to everyone.
Yeah, it's like, okay. All right, Kody. But he tells Robin this, and she has the weirdest look on her face. Something's happened with Robin. Robin's, I don't know what's going on with her, but she had a very weird look. It was like part disgust, part anger, part, I'm being filmed. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, I wonder if she knew he was going to say that.
Yes.
It was almost like she didn't know. And she's like, oh my God, you're embarrassing.
Yeah. That's me. Yes. I think that's what it was.
I'm uncomfortable now. Because the comment was out of context, out of place. You know, it was strange. And then, so she's just listening to him. And then at one point, she's like kind of massaging her waddle.
Brooke.
No, she was. You remember Ally McBeal? All of you guys are probably too young for this, but remember the show Ally McBeal?
Yeah, I remember it.
So Diane Cannon's character was like, she was an older attorney, and she had an affair with that younger guy, and he called like the little skin on her neck her waddle, and he was really turned on by that.
Oh, okay. I did not watch enough Ally McBeal. I was not a faithful watcher.
I watched the whole thing. Anyway, Robin is just sitting there like, yeah, like massaging her neck waddle.
Well, then this goes into this whole thing about Coyote Pass, because we hear that apparently there's, I think it's Mary's being told, like someone wants to buy a couple parcels of Coyote Pass. And then we hear from Jen kind of asking Mary questions about how is all of this going to work? Meaning, are you going to have to collect your money from Kody? So how would that all work?
Well, right? I mean, it's whoever's on title. Because they shifted the title to make it equal.
Yes.
So it would be distributed based upon your percentage of ownership of each parcel, assuming that the parcels are priced separately, but they're probably not.
And so
maybe they are, I don't know.
But how does it work in terms of, but does the lump sum get sent to,
goes into escrow.
It goes into escrow, and then is it an attorney that then doles out the money, or how does all that work?
What happens is there's the escrow officer will ask for escrow instructions from everybody, and you have to agree on it. How is this going to be distributed?
Okay.
So it's normally not controversial, but if you have a lawsuit, if there's a pending lawsuit, you have to have some sort of settlement agreement to say everyone agrees this is the distribution. And in their case, since they are separate owners, they probably had to sign something where they all said, we agree to this distribution.
Yeah.
Because the title company is not going to give anybody any money without covering their ass and having everybody sign off on this is the agreement.
So it sounds like then the money wouldn't be going through Kody. It sounds like if everybody was on the title and in their different ways. Okay. But Jen is just, and I think this is what Jen does really well, is she kind of like gives Mary the worst case scenario of the most horrible thing that Kody could do, and just be like, have you thought about that? And a little bit like, maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't, but it's a little bit like, and okay, are you on that? Okay, good. Which is again, what a very good friend would do. She's just wanting to make sure that Mary's thought of everything, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
So then this is when we get Sassy Robin. And Sassy Robin started last during the tell-all when she just kind of decided, I'm going to stop answering questions, even though my job as a reality star is to answer questions and answer them honestly and share my life. I'm not going to do that anymore. And so now she is pissed. She's saying something like, there's something going on where she's like, she refuses to sell Coyote Pass until things are settled the right way. Sorry. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think what she's referring to is, again, they all own an equal share of the entirety of Coyote.
You know, Kody wanted to rename it to Coyote Pass at some point. You know, late at night he was whispering this to every wife.
Yeah. So even though they have an equal share as far as ownership, there's still the question of what sort of equalizing payments should maybe go to certain people.
What does that mean?
Meaning, like, all the stuff about giving Robin $40,000 or X amount, whatever they gave her for her down payment.
Okay, so like going back to how they got the money for Coyote Pass and who put what in.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
The origin of Coyote Pass was because, and it overlaps with the Robin and Kody's home. It's intertwined because, they're all saying, well, my money went to pay for this and my money went to pay for that and da. So I think she's talking about making the distribution equal to take all those things into consideration. Why she thinks she would be owed any money is beyond me, because it sounds to me like everyone gave her all the money to buy her house.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she's talking about, but she seems to think she's owed something.
So maybe that's part of the fight. Maybe we're finding out that Robin's going to get cut out completely and she's getting pissed. I don't know. Can't wait to find out. Yeah. So then there's the standoff at Coyote Pass. Dun, dun, dun. And then Robin tells us that it seems like everyone's made a big effort in creating pain and hurting each other. And she's not here for that.
Makes her angry.
Yes, it makes her so angry. All the pain, the hurt, the pain.
Well, what is she talking about?
I don't know.
Because obviously she's talking about herself, that people have caused her pain, put all this effort into causing her pain. Well, like who? What?
Well,
give me an example.
I got a crazy thought for you here, which is this, and it's a Buddhist thought, and I have to say it to clients all the time, and I have to remind myself of it. No one owes you happiness. No one owes you happiness. It is not anybody's responsibility, Robin, to make you happy. If you're unhappy, that's on you. That's on you. So, and I see this all the time with people, especially in marriages where they're like, this person did this. And it's like, you know what? I'm sorry, but you're responsible for your mood. If your husband walks in and he's in a crappy mood and that puts you in a crappy mood, that's not on him. Like, it's on him to figure out his own mood. And then it's on you to figure out, well, how am I going to deal with this guy? And sometimes if it's every single day, then it means maybe this isn't working. But if it's just that day, then you go, you know what? Everyone gets a moment and then you move right along. Well, but it just drives me nuts when people feel like other people are responsible for their happiness. And then it's a perpetual victim BS. And,
Robin is a born victim. This is her role. This is what she plays. And so, nothing's changed. Robin is still Robin. But Kody wants healing. Now, this is something that I, again, wonder, is this sincere, or is he just doing this because he needs the paycheck and there needs to be a storyline? And he's out of storylines if he does not mend fences with people so that he can film with them.
Yes. I think that, yes, all of those things are true. I think that Kody sleeps at night because he says to himself, well, this is the right thing to do. I need to do this now. And I think my sense was he's on this apology tour where he kind of realized, like, wait a second, me making those comments really was bad on a lot of different levels. And I did it for a long time. And I think, I think those two are in the comment section. And I think he saw how awful it was. And I think that he saw how awful it was. And I do think that part of his idea was, you know what? I have children with all these women. I need to get along with them. And yeah, this would make good content and it's something new. And I can show everyone my new facial hair thing. I'm going with just a beard, just a soul patch beard kind of thing. So the women, they'll all really want me.
Like David. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's copying David.
Oh God. So yeah, I mean, I think it's all the above personally. Yeah. I really do. But it was just like, wow. I was like, God, and every single one, he had to like have that conversation. Like, I'm so sorry. It was like, okay. The apologies felt sincere, but I wonder if they weren't on the show and Kody was going around telling everybody in their circle the same thing he's been saying on TV, I don't think Kody would go around to these women and apologize. Like, I think the cameras need to be there for him to do this. I don't think he would have done it naturally.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah. Well, and then they juxtapose it with this next scene where he's like, I have this wife. Her name is Robin. It's like, yeah, we know. She would never let me do anything bad as much as I want to.
It's like this evil laugh. Yeah. Like he's the Joker or he's what evil thing do you want to do to these women? What more? You've already done enough. What evil thing are you going to do to them? Take their money? Already have.
Break their hearts? Done that.
Yeah. What more? Treated them like crap, dismissed them, blatantly lied to their faces and gaslit them and all of it. So you've done enough. You really have. But again, that's the other part of it too, is I think Kody reads these comments. I think that he has meetings with producers. He might have a few meetings with Robin. I think that gets contained. And then I think we see right then, but it's always going to come out in some way, shape, or form, right? He can't just apologize and move forward. There has to be some kind of showboating. I got the last laugh. I don't know. There's something about it that feels so odd.
Well, I hope that he also apologizes and reconciles with some of his children this season. Yeah. I hope we see that.
Yes. Yes.
I don't want this to be dark. It's been dark for a long time. And, I don't want to hate Kody so much, maybe a little, but I don't want him to be just so nasty like he has been.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But it was a little jarring. It was a little like, am I ready for this? Am I ready for more Kody? I thought I was just going to get a little bit of special forces, but now I'm really like, oof.
I thought we were going to get a good break. I was shocked when this trailer came out. I wasn't ready, but I'll be ready. I'll be ready by the end of the month.
Oof. Well, and so watching this episode, More Girls Than Kody Can Handle, it's, it is really interesting. I mean, the whole episode is about Kody bonding with his younger, the younger girls in the family and taking them on this trip. And it was interesting too, because in this episode too, we'll talk about it, but we see sort of the beginnings, kind of sort of a reconciliation between Mary and Janelle, and seeing the previews and seeing Janelle confiding in Mary about how she wants to do the release. I was like, these guys have come far. This is growth. Look at this. So,
well, and that's the thing. It's like, I thought this was a very sweet episode and very touching. And that was the thing. You could see how much he does love his children, even though sometimes, he's still Kody. He still has his annoyances, but he does love them. And they had so much fun with him. They were having so much fun. And it's like, God, why couldn't you keep that going? I mean, And I feel like the only reason he did it was because, Robin produced all this.
Yes.
This was her idea. And I think she really wanted it mostly for her own girls. I don't think
I was going to say
shit about the other ones.
No, if she had 3 boys coming into this,
no,
this would not have been an issue. This is really about getting her daughters, their needs met.
Right.
And I find it hard to believe that before Robin pulled him aside and said something to him about it, that Mary, Janelle, Christine have, I bet you anything, especially Christine, who has a lot of girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think, yeah. I think, and I can imagine it really pisses them off to have to see him say, well, Robin told me
finally, finally he's doing something.
Well, so this all starts because in the where we are in the storyline, 4 months earlier, anthropology students, if you remember them, had come. And one of the female anthropology students, she had commented on that Kody seemed to have a better, stronger connection with his male children versus his female children. And he does, he admits that. And so apparently Robin had pulled Kody aside and said, hey, if you connect with them more now when your daughters are 12 or 13, you will be able to remain connected when they get to college, when they get older, which I agree with. I don't think you should wait till 12 or 13. I mean, I think it's you've got to get that basis up to, but you can't start or 12 at 13. But this is but she is right in the sense of where these girls are in their, development, that this is a part where they do need their father. They need to see, they need that modeling for sure. And and to create that relationship. So,
and also I felt like Robin was very, I think she doesn't want to have like teen pregnancies.
Yeah.
Because
she makes a comment about that later on.
She was a teen mom.
Mm-hmm.
She really does not want, her daughters to, she even says to like fall for some guy who, she's very clear about it.
Yes.
That, if you have a strong bond with your father, that somehow that's less likely. I don't know statistically if that's
aren't
true,
you, Robin, aren't you super tight with Paul? Stepdaddy Paul? Isn't this the man that raised you? I thought Robin had a good relationship with her father. Both of them. The first one and the second.
Well, I remember she said that her biological father, I mean, it wasn't a bad relationship. It was just kind of non-existent in the sense that after they split, she didn't really see him. He wasn't around.
Yeah. Okay.
But then her mom married Paul, who, she gushes over. And so he was around when she was in her formative years, in her teen years, I would think. So, Robin, she makes the narrative, fit her.
Yes.
Whatever she's trying to prove at the time.
Yes. So Isabel is turning 12, and her big ask was that she wanted a trip to California. So they decided it's going to be Isabel, Aurora, Brianna, Gwen, and Savannah. And they're renting a beach house. At first, I thought they were going to San Diego. I don't know why. I think it stuck in my head. And then I was like, oh, Newport Beach. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's very different than where you're living. Because Newport's a strange place just for Californians. It is different. It is. Yeah. So, we hear a little bit about Savannah, that Savannah's 10 now, and she's been exerting her power and her personality. She's been,
I think little Savannah is so cute.
She is so cute.
She really is. She's funny.
She is a lot like her mom, and she's very thoughtful about everything that she says. Okay. And then we have to watch a scene of them packing the car, because it's not a Brown trip if they're not hours late,
right?
Like beyond what they thought, packed way too much stuff. And Kody has to save the day by unpacking, repacking, packing again. And apparently they all took too much luggage. And even Kody said he overpacked. Which I so believe. I so believe that he overpacked.
Well, and before they left for the trip, when the girls were all sitting on the couch talking about the trip, this was interesting. That, they said that they don't see their dad a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really looking forward to having this alone time with him.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, I can't remember which one says this, but they said, yeah, there'll be no workouts, no meetings, just us.
Yeah.
I was like, oof.
Psych Legal Pop. We'll be back after these messages.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that if you're Savannah, right, your dad comes around twice a week, and I think when he is around, he is wrestling with the boys and running around. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the gym and then I'm going to come back. And then, hey, Savannah, what's going on with you? And then he's off to something else. I mean, yeah, I can believe that's how their whole lives are.
Yeah.
So, so let's see. Oh, and this is where we see Robin on the couch where she said she wants the girls to bond. So that they can learn that they can get that love from him rather than some random kid that wants the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kody, let's see. Apparently, what Kody, this is one of Kody's comments was he was like, I don't know, the wives, when I've noticed with the girls, they all seem to boss each other around. But the wives always want to boss me around. So I think he was kind of excited to not be bossed around for a couple days too. I don't know.
He also says, and he says this a few times in this episode, it's very telling. He says, this trip will be easy. No jealousy about who I'm talking to most and giving affection to the most. The wives would always have a problem with that.
Yeah. And
I'm
And I don't think that this is a Kody. I'm not blaming this on Kody. I think this is a problem. This is the problem with plural marriage there's enough politics in the world, but now you've got politics and there's always family politics, but like in your unit, it shouldn't be so political. Like your relationship with your partner should not feel political. So anywho, yeah. And then they get into this whole thing. They stop at Peggy Sue's diner, which is like this 50s diner. And they're all thrilled. These kids, I swear to God, they just love everything. I
don't think they get out much.
No, I don't think they get out enough because I feel like I'm constantly suggesting things to Max. And he's like, if I said to him, you want to go to this cool 50s diner? He'd be like, no. Like he would just be so, what's that? They're just so excited to do anything. They talk about how the family's gotten a lot of criticism for how many children that Kody has. Janelle's like, but there's 5 adults. And yeah, Janelle, I understand that. But the problem is there's still only one father. And we're back to the same issue. It would be one thing if you guys were all like a group and there are many fathers and many mothers. But the problem is that he is one person. And we've talked about this many times. There's just no way. As earnest as he wants to be with it,
Yeah, so, no, it's just the reality, and we're seeing it play out.
Yep.
These girls are starved for attention.
Yeah. So they go to Newport Beach, and then it was so weird, like that they go to this Hershey's Market, which is this tiny grocery store. And I was like, is this the only, would Safeway not let them film? You're kind of like, Newport Beach has got to have, I have not been down in that area. You have.
Yeah,
was
I
that
just
Newport?
there not that long ago.
But Newport
last
is
month.
very Tony, like very, very. But that area, what they were in, it felt more like Manhattan Beach or Redondo or another part. I was like, is this
Well,
really
it's sort of a funky, it was kind of a funky part.
Yeah.
It's not where they have like the really nice beach houses out on.
It's not the Real Housewives of Orange County.
No, not those, not like Kelly Dodd's house out on the beach. But yeah, it was a little more funky. I think they were probably like, look, this place is walking distance. It's just around the corner. Let's just walk over there. We'll film it there, and probably easier to get permission to film there than at Safeway. But
I felt for him in that moment. So they're at this tiny grocery store and he's like, okay, so what does everyone want for dinner? Eggs, chicken, mac and cheese. And he's just like a deer in headlights. Like, he doesn't know what to do because they're all throwing out different ideas and they all have different ideas about what they want to do. And so.
And he's just grabbing random stuff, and then I think they're only there for like 2 nights or something. And he's got all this food. And then I thought this was funny when they were checking out. He has this big old long receipt. He's like, oh God, that's a big receipt. And then Brianna says, my mom has had bigger receipts.
I'm sure she has.
Of course.
I'm sure she has. Let's see. Okay. And then the next scene is time for the beach. And then they all go running out to the beach. So
sunset.
This is where we leave Newport Beach and we go back to Utah. No, sorry, back to Vegas because Maddie, this is also one of the parts of this episode is about, we got to wrap up this Maddie LDS storyline situation, which is she went to college. She got into the LDS church. She wanted to be baptized. They said, okay, well, you need to separate from your family or disown your family and your family can't be so public. And she said, no, I'm not going to disown my family and I can't tell them not to be so public. And they said, well, basically they said, thanks, but no thanks. You can still attend and be part of the community, but we're not going to baptize you. And she basically was like, no, forget it. Like that's, which I agree with, come be part of the community, tithe. I'm sure they'd be fine with you giving them 10%, Maddie. Trust me, they're not going to worry about that. But then they're going to decide, they're going to make this young 20-year-old girl give up her entire family. Like, the situation.
Yeah. And then she says something that, I think this happens a lot to the Brown kids, but she says she's upset because she feels like she's being punished for something that her parents chose.
Yep.
And it's true. It's like,
she is.
All of these kids, I'm sure, have been teased and heckled at school and just in general in life. And, and that's why a lot of them just try to stay out of the public light and just so they can have a normal life and not be prejudged.
Yeah. So Madison goes into this whole thing about, these are supposed to be men of God and they're hypocrites. I'm with you, Madison, everything that you're saying. And I mean, Janelle is very surprised this happened, but Madison's like, listen, I have faith. I don't think my beliefs fit any religion. So, and I don't think she follows anything now currently, right? I don't think she goes. I don't know. She does. I don't know.
I believe that Caleb, so Kody's brother who died, Curtis, who was Caleb's brother-in-law, I think he was like fundamentalist Christian. So I don't know. And Caleb's father is a minister, pastor. I'm not quite sure what his title is. So he has a religious upbringing. So I don't know if she adopted that or not really sure. But one thing I did notice in Robin's house, because they're having this discussion at Robin's house, and I thought, I don't know why she's talking to Robin and Mary about this and not Janelle, but they're at Robin's house and it is so cluttered. Like every surface of every counter of every tabletop is just covered. Just with junk. I mean, she wastes so much money. And the other house is like that too. One of the few times that we've been let inside. Same thing. Like,
But I wonder too, is it all Robin or is it the combination of Kody and Robin? Because Kody is so ADD and the accumulating stuff and not wanting to get rid of stuff. That's like piles of stuff. That's a very ADD, ADHD thing. So I do wonder that they'll never admit it. Definitely not at this stage where we are in the show now, but that because he spends the bulk of his time there, I wonder
all
if
his stuff is there.
Yeah, all of his stuff is there. And he's such a pack rat kind of person that he's not going to get rid of it. And she indulges him. So I don't know. But we got to go back to Newport Beach because they're going to Adventure City. And I'm like, what is this? I've never heard of Adventure City.
I've never heard of it. It's in Anaheim.
Okay. It's so weird. Like it's a really random.
Disneyland is. Why not go to Disneyland? I guess that's.
I'm sure it's way too expensive, and I'm sure the camera crews couldn't go in. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe they could. I don't know. I'm sure you have to get clearance with Disney.
Yeah.
So
filming
yeah,
at
so
Disney's
they're
probably hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're riding rides. They're having ice cream. We're hearing a lot about vomit, and do you want to vomit ice cream or not? And what's the best? And I guess Kody starts to feel bad because both Savannah and Gwen, they didn't want to ride a lot of the rides. They didn't want to do this drop zone. And so Cody's like sort of asking himself, he doesn't know when to push the boundaries. Like, when do I push them and, make them do scary things? And when don't I? How do I know when to push the threshold so that they're safe enough? And
but he did make one comment that I thought was insightful because he was talking about Gwen, and he doesn't have the words for it yet, but he says something along the lines of that, Gwen has highs and lows, and sometimes she's game for something and sometimes she's not. And Gwen later said that she's on the spectrum, that she's autistic. So I'm sure that's had a lot to do with why she didn't want to go on the rides.
Yeah.
Too overstimulating or whatever. And same with Savannah. Like, she's just kind of.
Well, she's also 10.
She's small. She's doesn't want to. But he didn't. No. He didn't push them.
No.
So I'm giving Kody credit.
Yes. Do you remember what Dad did to me at Great America? Because I had a hard time for a long time. I would not ride any roller coasters that went upside down. And there was only like one roller coaster at Great America that didn't go upside down. But the big roller coaster at Great America was the Demon. And you guys wanted to go on the Demon. And Dad was just like, you're going to get over this. And basically was like, you're going. It was almost kind of like basically what he was saying is, okay, you're old enough now. We've done this too many years of like catering that you don't want to do this. So now you're going to do it and you're going to be okay. Here you go. It's like, okay. So,
yeah. No, this episode, it really made me think of, all our trips to Great America
with our dad,
which is an amusement park in the Bay Area. We went, I don't know, what did we go for, a good 10 years or something? Like every summer.
Yep. At the end of the summer, around Labor Day, around this time.
Yeah. And it was a bonding thing. I mean, I don't think our stepmother ever came.
No.
It was just the three of us. We had this ritual. We'd eat at the same Mexican restaurant the first night. And then we'd stay in the Marriott Hotel, which was a fancy hotel. It had an indoor-outdoor pool.
Ooh, yes. Ooh. Yes. It was very fancy.
Yeah. We'd order room service and we'd go to the park and it was those were really that was important bonding.
Yes, it was.
That, I mean, it doesn't take much, with kids. It's just like making those memories and doing it consistently. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, do you remember when we went back? I think I was like in my late 20s. You were in your early 30s. And we were all like, you especially were like, oh, these rides, my neck is killing me. Like,
yes.
We discovered that, there's a real age limit. But Dad was in his 40s riding all those rides with us back when we were kids. So it's a little bit like, you didn't notice any of this?
I mean, I went with him when Layla was maybe like 4. we went to Great America, and he was in his 60s, and he was riding.
Mid-60s. Yeah.
He was riding these rides. Yeah, no, there's so many. I can't even do the Disneyland. I can't do the Matterhorn. I can't do any kind of roller coaster. Forget about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was built for that.
I think even today, Dad with his oxygen, he'd go.
He would.
He would totally go.
Just tuck it right in under the seat.
All right. So let's see. And so now we're moving on to Janelle and Mary. We've got to get back to this storyline, which is, Janelle says that she's really been getting in tune with herself, and she's realized that she wants to connect with Mary. That was 4 months ago, much like when the anthropology students were there. And so we see this conversation between Mary and Janelle, where Mary's like, well, I haven't given her an answer, but I want to give her an answer. So we see, Mary walking over to Janelle's house, and she's been thinking on it, praying on it, and she wants to move forward. And Janelle starts crying.
See, I didn't understand this, because it's my understanding from everything that we know and have studied about this show for all these years, is that Mary was the one who was so nasty and unwelcoming to Janelle when Janelle joined the family. And so I didn't really understand why you would think that Mary would be the one who would.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Why is Janelle reaching out? Yeah. And, but you know what? I've always really felt there was a lot more to this Mary Janelle thing, because Janelle was married to her brother, and she knew Mary before she knew Kody,
Yeah, we hear her say that.
Yeah.
In the show.
I think that's the root of a lot of, it wasn't just that they were two new sister wives. I mean, that was part of it. But I think that basically it kind of sounds to me like Janelle left her marriage and went to be with Kody. Or like saw, what Mary and Kody had, and she was just like, oh, well, I want that. And there's way more to it. So.
Yeah, there's got to be, because I can imagine Mary must have been like, wait, what's going on? Like, you're here and you're with my brother, and now you're going to be with my husband. And okay, now and don't forget, she's trying to get pregnant. Like Mary's trying to conceive actively during this time. And I think that it pissed Mary off. And I'm sure Mary, and these were young women. They were very young. And so they didn't have the words and they couldn't communicate that. But I bet you anything, Mary was nasty and mean to Janelle. And then Janelle got pissed. And then that created this, right? Like, I think there's been a lot of hurt feelings for a long, long time. And I both of them think it's the other one. Like, I think they've spent a lot of years going, well, you did this, you did this, you did this. So,
yeah. Well, but then did anything come of this?
Well, they agreed that they were going to go see Nancy together. So, and they do eventually go, right? I mean, they do eventually go to see Nancy. Then, we'll see that eventually.
But then all those years until, coming up to present day, where they're now sort of, they came back together around this whole like Kody, this shared experience of, leaving Kody. But in the middle of that, I don't think they've been particularly close. So I don't know how much the counseling helped, but.
And again, I think they can be close now because they're not both married to the same man. I mean, truly. Yeah. I just feel like it is, I don't think that I could ever have a completely pure relationship with a sister wife. Like, I just don't think it's feasible. I really don't, because there's always going to be that feeling, that jealousy.
Yeah. And you're competing for time and resources. And I think, Mary, as much as Janelle always talks about how she loves to work, Mary was really the breadwinner for a long, long time.
Well, yeah, with the clothes and all that. She's been the breadwinner, I think, during this, like, post-show. I mean, she definitely is the one that's earned the most money from the show.
Yeah, well, even before, like I think that's why they kept, that's why Kody wanted to keep her around, in Flagstaff, and she was making a lot of money, and she was making money in Vegas. So, I think there was maybe some resentment, like she's supporting this family that won't even talk to her.
Oh yeah, and that Janelle, I'm sure. I mean, we know it hurt her. It was so painful to see Janelle get pregnant right away, and then. Did she get, it's her and then Leon and then...
Well, no, Aspen was...
Aspen. Okay. And then Logan. Okay. So, like she was not, I mean, I don't think she was in a good place at all. And again, don't blame her for feeling how she's feeling. So now we have to go back to Newport Beach, but they're going to Huntington Beach so that they can go boogie boarding.
Mm-hmm. And surf. Kody brings this surfboard.
Oh God! Yeah,
I don't know from where. I don't know. Did he rent it?
No, he had it.
Did he bring it from home?
He had it at home. We then learned
he owns a surfboard. Living.
Yes, he brought and then he found out that he couldn't surf because he forgot an ankle strap, wax, and other equipment, like half the stuff he needed. And apparently it must have been so much stuff, like, because at first I was like, well, a strap, couldn't he get a strap from borrow it from one of these shops, or like, oh, wax. Well, everyone's got wax. And then they start listing and then she starts saying other equipment. I'm like, oh, this was so much more than this.
Yeah.
This wasn't just the wax. So, but yeah, we see Robin saying that she thought that the trip was going to be more heart-to-heart conversations. And, when she's checking in with Kody, it sounds like they're having a party. What were you thinking? Like Kody was going to have heart-to-heart conversations with each girl and say what? Don't have sex before marriage. Right. Like, don't get pregnant,
please. Oh, I know. It's like Robin is such a wet blanket. She's like, oh no, God forbid they just go and have fun and hang out. What they have to be productive. It's like have talks about their relationship and their life. I mean, God, no, they're trying to have fun.
Yeah.
That's how you bond with young kids. You have fun.
Yeah. I can't imagine what a good time is with Robin. I mean, what is a good time with Robin?
Exists.
Painting,
shopping.
Yeah, I guess shopping
she probably comes to life when she's at the mall shopping.
Probably. Okay, so they learned that there was actually, while they were there, someone spotted a shark. So that was very excited. Gwen was very excited. So they said there's no parking in this town, and they're absolutely right. There is no parking. In those beach towns, there is absolutely no parking. So they decide we're going to start walking to the boardwalk, and
so this is Balboa. They're now in Balboa.
Oh, they're in Balboa. And then we get back to Kody talking about the criticism for having so many children. And then he sort of indicates something to the effect of whether or not he's going to. So he has not had his last child yet at this point. And so he's like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. Basically says, well, if I'm going to have more children, it's up to Robin. And she doesn't like me talking about her reproduction.
That's a good answer.
And okay. So it's okay.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God. So then there is some showboating. Kody could not have gone this far without having to showboat a little bit. Mm-hmm. So he gets on this mechanical shark, and, he's like, oh, I can last 8 seconds. But apparently he claimed that he was getting tired, so he launched himself off. But the girls said, no, he fell off.
Oh, Kody.
Yes. And then he starts doing his surfer voice and embarrassing them horribly. Mm-hmm. And then at the end is they're celebrating Isabel's birthday. They have a lovely cake. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Kody basically says, listen, we're already bonded. This isn't about the trip. He's like, I'm in touch with my little girls. And he just got his final words were I was looking for what was wrong, and I discovered what was right. So there's nothing I need to do differently. I'm doing it all so well.
Everything's fine. I'm a great dad.
Yeah. 5 years from now, this same daughter, I'm not going to go with them to get surgery.
Right.
I'm just going to dismiss that one. Because how old was Isabel? 17, 16, 17?
When she had the surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wow, so much will happen in the next 5 years.
I know. I mean, it's too bad he didn't keep this up, and
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
it was a sweet episode.
It was a sweet episode, and these Kody episodes I can handle.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we're still in the period of Sister Wives where Kody is not like, he hasn't gone dark yet.
Yes.
He has not, he's not discovered the manosphere yet. He's still Kody, but he's happy-go-lucky Kody.
Yes.
And which is easier to take. And this was especially easy to take because it's just him having fun with his kids. And, with the wives, there's always some problem. There's always an issue. But yeah, so I guess Robin discovered that, this wasn't good because there weren't enough heart-to-heart talks.
Yes.
And she decided to basically, trap her children in the house with Kody at all times so that he could impart his wisdom on them.
Yes. Well,
and that works better for her.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll be back next week with, episode 8. We're just going to keep going along these lines until the new season starts. And then,
I think the next episode might be one of those like getting to know Christine or
okay, we'll
skip an episode, but we won't go back and do those. But we'll do this until the next season starts, and then I don't know, 10 months later when that's over, maybe we'll come back to this.
Yeah. Well, we also want to cover Seeking Sister Wife, so maybe when that ends, maybe we can go back and start doing the rewinds as an extra bonus. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But we're back to Sister Wives. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for being here. If you want more of us, if this felt like, God, I could use some more of these two. Please go check out our Patreon where we do all of you'll get all of the shows ad free. We do a weekly bonus. We also have some other bonuses for our higher tier, where there's an Ask Us Anything and a true crime. The true crime that we're doing this month is about Amanda Knox and and really more of like talking about the Amanda Knox story through, sort of where we're at today, because Monica Lewinsky is producing a documentary, and we're going to talk about this relationship about Amanda Knox and Monica Lewinsky and young women that go through these really, really public things at a very young age and so on. So that's our true crime. For this month. And so we also have another show each week. This week's documentary is Fit for TV, The Reality of the Biggest Loser, which was a really, really good documentary. So please check that out when it's released. You can follow us on social media. We're on YouTube. Hello, everyone, if you're watching. So please subscribe over there. Subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Those always really help us. And spread the word. Any kind of word that you can spread is always very, very helpful. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellows wherever you get your podcasts.
With almost 500,000 customers and over $1 trillion of secure payments, Bill isn't new to intelligent finance. It's the proven way to simplify bill pay and maximize cash flow. Want to learn more? Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
All right, ladies. When you've done the work, you want your hydration to do the same. Introducing new Gatorade Lower Sugar, now with no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. And 75% less sugar and all the electrolytes of regular Gatorade, now available nationwide.